It's okay, sure.
So what's the last class? What is our last class?
Yeah, about the control structures. If else.
Hmm.
We have discussed about if else later.
We were done the if and else, elif later, nested if, and we started for loop also, right?
Yes. Last is the for loop.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes,
let's
that's
do
right.
let's do some other programs from the for loop. Okay, if you are much interested to write the program, say sir, no. Let's write some more programs, or else let's go for the next module.
Yeah, next module means in the same control structure, we will
Yeah,
go
same
to
control
another,
statement. So while
right?
something else,
Okay,
something
okay,
like that. Okay,
okay,
instead of the
okay,
for,
fine.
we can go
Yeah,
for the
you can
next
carry on.
point.
Yeah, you can carry on, no issues. For loop, it's understandable.
Okay,
Easy.
so for other convenience, we can write one more program, then we can go to the while loop. Okay, and I already told you, right? Everyone should have to create your own HackerRank account and start practicing of Python from the HackerRank. And I need that, stars and everything. At least you can, add images also. That's not a problem. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go to your specific location, batches, Chiru, and Python control statements. This Python control statement, if you have a good knowledge, then you can write the program any kind of you can go and work with the C, you can work with Java, any programming language. It could be easy for you. Okay, so make sure that be prepared in a best way. Okay, so write a program, find the write a program, print only integers. Sorry, write a program, print only even numbers, even numbers from a group of elements, group of elements. Okay, so for example, I have a group and which may have some kind of integers. I have some group of integers, and it may containing the even numbers and it may containing the odd numbers. Okay, and so my intuition is that I would like to go for accessing only even numbers. Okay, so what I can do, simply we can use the for loop, and you can access the every element from this group. My group name is here, sequence is A, so that I'm giving the A over here. Okay, and for every time this ELE, it will be holding the 45 for first iteration, next time it is a 90, next time it's a 12, right? So this is the way this ELE, which is going to accessing the each and every element from this group. Now I would like to check whether that ELE, is it even number or not odd number. How can I check out it? When I did the division, then if I get the remainder is 0, then it could be even number, right? If
Yes.
it is the even number, then I can print it. So I'm just printing only even numbers. So how can I print the even numbers? We are accessing the each and every element from this group, and the element I am checking with help of the if, and if this condition is true, the statement what we are writing inside of this if can be executed. Otherwise, it nothing. It won't execute anything actually. Okay. So now I can able to go for print the task was done. So just for understanding purpose, the program is done. That kind of purpose, I'm writing the last statement. See, 90 is the even number, right? 12 is the even number, right? 34 is the even number, right? 14 is the even number, right? So this is the way you can able to go for accessing the each and every element. Note this program. Amir, are you following the concept what I'm discussing here?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So meanwhile, you have to look your previous recordings. Amir,
Yes, sir.
you can practice your previous recording so that it could be easy for you.
Yes.
If you're getting any doubts, then you can message me. Okay?
Sure, sure.
If it is done, please let me know, guys. I'm waiting for your confirmation.
Sir, done.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I want to tell you one thing. The for loop, you can add the else also. That means for and else. But the else can be executed if and if all iterations are done. If and only if all iterations are done, then else can executes. That means same program you can write it. So here we can write the else block. This is the else which belongs to the for, not to the if. The reason is that which is exactly straight below the no for, right? So that this else which is belongs to the for. I am else for loop. I'm else for loop, related for loop, related to the for loop, not for the if. Got you my point? So we can write this one, all iterations are done, so that else was executed successfully. So some situations you can add the else block, and moreover it's a optional thing. Noted that point?
Anjan, you mean in for once it is done, else is separate. Separately it is printing.
Yes, this for loop and else combination, you can write the for with the combination of the else also. Okay,
Okay, good.
so but this else block, it could be the optional if you want to do some specific task, if all iterations are done, so the task is mandatory for you. Okay, and if the task was not, I mean the for loop is not executed successfully, so I don't want to performing that specific task, that situations we can use the else block. For sake of understanding, what I can do actually, you don't worry about it, I'm just breaking it. Okay, if I interrupted, okay, if I encountered the any if I encountered any even number, then I can break this loop That means 45 is not even number, so that successfully this for loop is executed. So the reason is that this is the statement was not executed, so that means break is also not executed. Okay, then the ALE will be go for the second one. Second element is the 90. 90 is the even number. Once it is the even number, then it is breaking. Okay, so you can control X, and this break you can write after even also. It's up to you, just for understanding purpose. So when the break statement is executed, the loop execution can be stopped. Once the loop execution is stops, okay, that means there are some either iterations are there. I mean, almost there are 6 iterations are left, but in the middle of execution of this loop, I'm breaking intentionally so that the else is not executed. Okay, else will executed if and only if all iterations are successfully executed. Clear the difference between these two? Did you got my point? Everyone? So here else
Yeah,
is
yes, yes.
executed, here else is not executed. Why?
After first iteration, you would like to break the.
Yeah, at second iteration my loop was breaked. First iteration it's a 45, second iteration is 90. When it is the 90, it is the even number, so that the, even is printing, that means 90 is printing. Once 90 is printing, then the break statement is executed. The functionality of the break keyword is it is stopping the loop actually. Okay, that means it is interrupting the iterations. So once intentionally you are interrupting the iterations, then else is won't executed. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Yes, but I have a small doubt here.
Sure, go ahead.
See, the break you have mentioned under the if
Yep.
control, but why it should stop the entire for loop? It should
That's
stop
what the
only if, right?
functionality. That's what the functionality of the break. Break will used for once the break is executed inside of the loop, whether it is the inside of the if or whether it is inside of the else, it doesn't matter. If it is inside of the loop, then it is stopping that specific loop only. Okay, let me consider. I want to tell you one thing. So we have the two loops. Okay, so this is your outer loop. This is what I'm just for understanding purpose. I'm writing like outer loop. Okay, any loop, it might be
Okay.
while loop, it might be for loop, it doesn't matter. Okay, we have some statements, and meanwhile you have some internal loop, that means inner loop. Okay, you have some inner loop. So when we have some inner loop, okay, so what exactly meaning of this one? This is the nested loops. This meaning is what? Nested loops. The outer loop which is containing the one more loop, right? So that's the reason we are calling it say nested loops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so loops are different, condition statements is different. Okay, for example, if the break is
Mm-hmm.
belongs to the outer loop, then which is stopping the outer loop. If the break is belongs to the inner loop, which is stopping only inner loop only. For example, if I have the break over here, then which is just breaking only internal loop, outer loop which is not breaking. So these two statements are executed, and which is entering into the internal loop, and each and every statement is executed. After some iterations, break was executed. Once the break is executed, the internal loop can be stopped. Then this statement can executed. This statement is executed. Again, it is continuing the outer loop. Again, this statement is executed. This statement is executed. Again, which is entering the internal loop. So once it is entering into the internal loop, so first it has to finish the internal loop. So once the internal loop is finished, then it will be go for outer loop. Clear?
So that means basically that break, it will break the loop, or it will break the
Only loop,
anything like even
only
statements
corresponding loop,
also.
only corresponding loop.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Understand.
I want to tell you one more time. This is the loop which
Okay.
is entering something like this. Okay, and
Yes.
let me consider this is the break was not executed at. Okay, so what happens? This is the internal loop is trying to be executing multiple times. After some iterations of internal loop, break is executed. Once the break is executed, these are the statements will executes. If these statements are executed, again it will be go for the again first statement. After execution of the first statement, each and every statement is being executing. By the time again it is entering into the internal loop. After some iterations, maybe the break was executed. Once the break is executed, it is come out from this loop only. Okay, clear? So break
Yeah.
is only breaking internal loop. I mean, break is breaking only that corresponding loop, not outside of the loop. But your question is, here my loop is, sorry, here my break is which is belongs to the if, right? Okay, here my break I have written inside of the if. So that means this if also it belongs to the loop only, so that this entire loop was stopping. If got you my point? This for loop, this entire thing it could be one loop only. This
Yeah.
is the for loop, this is the conditional
Yeah, got
statement.
it.
So
Okay.
this is different.
Yeah,
This
I
is
have one doubt.
Yep. Tell me.
Yeah, it is checking the second point of 90. So
Mm.
if you want to stop for the third point, like a 12, so how it will be?
So that's not my intuition is that what? Okay, so if you want to stop, no, it is not nothing actually. So one, what is the meaning of the break is one, if you are encountered same pattern, then it won't go for the next one, right? For example, here 91. Okay, my second element is 91, then it will be go for the 12. See, here 45.
Okay, that means it will not check another second
Yes,
event number.
even. So yes, that's
Yes.
what. That's what. That's correct. No, break the function.
So
I can
only
explain
in
the
that
break one
group
more
only
time.
it will see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
event
Wait a
and it
minute.
will stop.
Yeah, wait. See, why I am telling this one, break. I would like to go for explain the break in the last actually. Okay, not in the middle. But for understanding, for giving explanation of else block, when the else block is executing, when else block is not executing, because of that one I'm explaining the break in the middle of it. Okay, but don't try to be pushed to understand the break at this moment. Just try to understand the for and else, which both are same loop only, but this else will execute it if and only if all iterations are successfully executed. For example, this group which we have, the 8 iterations are there, then 8 times this loop has to be finished. Once 8 times is done, then else is executed. Instead of 8 times, it was executed only 4 times. Because of 4 times, okay, and it was stopping in the middle, so that else is not executed. Okay, what happened, guys? Not you get
Okay.
point these points?
Yeah, I got it.
Do you want one more time explanation? So here we have a for loop. My for loop, it may have the else block also. That's what my intuition. Okay, so my for loop, it may consisting the else as a optional thing or optional block, but this is the else. It will executed if all for loop, you can say in stuff, if for loop executed successfully, executed successfully all iterations. Okay, that situation only this else will execute, otherwise it won't execute. That you can keep it mind. Okay,
Yeah, understood. Yeah, that is what actual my doubt.
yeah,
Whether it will stop entire loop or otherwise entire program. That is what only
only
my doubt.
loop.
Okay.
It will stop
Yeah.
only loop. For stopping
Yeah.
entire program, we can have a function is exit function.
Okay.
Actually, in
Yeah,
other
I understood.
programming
Okay.
languages, we have exist is there, exit function is there, exit keyword is there, or else return. Return can use it for to stop the function, and a break can be used for to stop the loop, and exit can be stop entire program. So that kind of things will be there in other programming languages. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Understood.
Okay. Now I want to give a small program. Write a program find the given number is write a number, find number of factors for given number. So you have a one number, so that number, it may have some kind of factors, right? So I want to print those numbers, as well as I want to know that how many factors we have it. Let me consider I have a number is 12. For 12, what are the factors we have it? 1 into 12, it's a 12, and 2 into 6, it's a 12, and
Yeah,
3
2, 3,
into 4, it's a 12, and 4 into 3, it's
6
a
also.
6. 6.
okay. Next 5, there is no 5 related, 5 is not a factor for 12, but 6 into 2, 12, and next 12 into 8 is not a factor, 9 is not a factor, 10 is not a factor, 11 is also not a factor, but 12 is a factor for 12, right? So that 12. So how many factors we have it? 6.
6.
So I want to go for print the 6, as well as I want to print these factors as well. That's my function. That is my logic. That's my question. So first you have to take the number from the user, make sure that it could be the integer only. So enter integer. Once if you enter the integer, then I can use the for loop. So from where I need to start? I have to start with the 1, and I need to end with the I have to access the 12 also, right? So that for I in range of, so 1 2, so I enter the 12, so that I have to access the 12 also, so that you can give the number plus 1. So we can accessing from the 1 to number. I have to check my number which is divisible with I. The reason is that I which is starting with 1 2 3 4, every time the I can be updated automatically. If I is the factor for the number, then which means that I is the, when I is divisible with when the number is divisible with I, then I is the factor, so that you can print the I. So factor is I. Okay. For example, meanwhile I want to count that, right? So that I can creating the count variable. So default it's a 0. If we have at least one count, if you found it's a one number is a factor, then count can be updated. So with 1, so this is the way you can update the count. If all iterations are completed successfully, then I can print the number of factors for my number. I can print the number, or I can print the count. Okay, so you just enter the 12. So 12 having the factors are 1 2 3 4 5 6 12, and the number of factors for 12 are, it's a 6. There are 6 factors are there. Okay, got you my logic?
Yes, yes.
Note this program, execute this program in your laptop. Done. So I'm giving a small program, you can try with for loop. If it is done, I can give the assignment. Say yes or no. Have you done this particular part? Shray, Varun,
Yes, sir.
have you done this particular part?
Mm.
Okay. I'm giving a small program that you can try yourself. Write a program, find the given number is prime number or not. Okay. Write a program. Write a program. Find find prime numbers between 10 to 30. So what are the prime numbers between 20 30? Tell me. So 20 is not a prime number, 11 is the prime number, 12 is not, but 13 is a prime number, 14 is not,
17.
and 13
17.
15 is not, 16 is not,
17,
17
19,
and 19, 21 not,
23.
22 not, 23 not,
23.
24 not, 25 not, 26 not, 27 is not, 29 is
Also not.
29.
29.
sorry,
29.
Yeah, 6 will come.
20.
Yeah, 29 correct.
It is correct only.
23 and 29 only, right? 22 is the 20,
Yes, yes.
1 into 11, it's a 22, and 23 not, 24 is a 1 into 12, 26 is 1 into 13, and 27, 3 into 9, right? 3 into 9, 27 only, right? 28, 2
Yeah,
into
yeah.
14, 29 not. Okay, so these are the numbers are the prime numbers. So I want to print only prime numbers between 10 to 30. That's it. Okay. Meanwhile, you have to find the whether given number. I just give only one number. That number is a prime or not. That you can find. After that one, you can go for this program. So this program which is having the loop which containing the one more loop. Okay. So loop it may contain the one more loop. You can try it. If not, we can discuss by tomorrow's session. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Take care, guys. Bye. And Shrey and Varun, can you please stay in the class?